Good morning, everyone. Headed to the location for our first day of shooting today on our action short. We are so excited to be doing this, to finally get this off the ground. Many more days coming. A lot of adversity whenever you're doing film and you're working on your own projects. Creating that content, man, that's what you got to do. So, today I want to talk about fear. Fear. Living your life in fear. How do you combat fear? Well, fear stops you from being amazing and it stops you from being great. I always like to use the phrase, greatness recognizes greatness. In order for me to be great, I got to recognize that others are great as well. So it's a reciprocal thing. It keeps you in check. Nobody's better than anybody. But at the same time, you cannot live in with a spirit of fear. You have to make sure that fear is something that is non-existent when it comes to you taking the chance and taking the opportunities for you to be creative and for you to move and embark on your career as an artist, whether it be an actor, a dancer, director, whatever, writer, producer. You can't live in the spirit of fear. You can't activate in the spirit of fear. Everything that you do has to be done in love. Fear is defeated by love. If you love it, you're not going to be afraid to do it. You know, it's like loving someone. You're terrified to love them fully because maybe you're fearful of your past relationships or how things worked out, or maybe that person has hurt you, so it's hard for you to love them again the way you loved them the first time you met them or interacted with them. But anyway, fear. How do we combat that? Well, fear is not knowing. If you understand where fear comes from, it is from not knowing. We fear what we don't understand. We fear what we don't know. And so that's why people have an issue with fear when it comes to security in their lives, when, money's not right, or, you just fear that things are just not going to go the way you want them to do, the things you want them to do. Control, you don't have the control over things that, are major sometimes, you know what I mean? So what I always say is that in order to combat fear, you have to know yourself. And then be willing to take on whatever circumstance that comes, no matter how scary it may seem. And so what happens is you start to build yourself up and to prepare. And so now you're prepared for what may come, because you don't know what it's going to be, but you got to be able to activate within that circumstance. You are greater than your circumstances. I've always said that, and I firmly believe that. And if you've already experienced it, so say for instance you're an actor and you book something and then you don't book anything for a long time. Well, you're fearful of, is this the right career path for me? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. I always say that if you booked once, you'll do it again. It's just a matter of time. So you can't control the fact of when it's going to happen, but you just got to know if you do it again, like I said before in my past video, if you keep doing it, eventually it's going to come to pass. So fear is just something that comes up because you feel like, okay, is it ever going to happen again? Of course it's going to happen again. If you wake up in the morning and you living, God has a plan for you. Okay? You may know what his will is because he leaves an idea of what his will is, but the plan, that's being revealed to you every day as you live. So you can't live in a spirit of fear. You don't want to activate a spirit of fear in yourself. And you don't want to be around fearful people. You know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta be brave. And as artists, we always have to be brave. We have to be the ones to do what everybody else doesn't do. If Nate Parker didn't believe in himself in regards to his project, then, Birth of a Nation would have never happened if he lived in a spirit of fear. But he was brave. And everybody else that's out there succeeding, they're brave. Bill Gates, everybody that's successful, everybody that's ever invented something. Brave individuals. They didn't live in fear. They just did it. They stepped out on faith. So anyway, guys, have an awesome day. I hope whatever you're doing it in love. And I'm praying that everything's going well for you and that you're enjoying the beautiful weather today and that you don't live in a spirit of fear. Look in yourself in the mirror and know that you are enough. And God bless you and keep the faith. Peace.